Hello, beautiful. You made it. Day 7 of the Emergency Medical Folder Challenge is here. Can you believe how fast this week has gone? I know I can't. And it has been such a fun week with you. I have loved seeing your progress, hearing all of your comments, having you join me. So, just to recap, this week with the Emergency Medical Folder Challenge, it has run from January 10th through today, January 16th. And throughout the week, we've been working on building our emergency medical folder. So if you're just hopping into the challenge right now, that's okay. You still have time to catch up. You still have time to do your emergency medical folder until January 23rd, which is next Sunday. All right. So January 23rd, 2022, depending on when you're watching this. But this week, we've been doing the emergency medical folder. So we've been building this. If there's anything that you've missed throughout the week, make sure to check out the challenge schedule page. That's what will be up until Sunday, January 23rd of 2022. So any past live sessions, past daily tasks, the downloadable worksheets, it's all on that challenge schedule page, along with any of the links that I mentioned, okay? So the schedule page the link for that is also in the video description, wherever you're watching this video. So that's where it all is. All right. If you're just catching up, if you're just starting this weekend, then here's a quick summary. The emergency medical folder is a quick grab folder that you can take with you to the hospital, or if you're not able to communicate, first responders can find out all the important medical information that they need about you, your emergency contacts. And it's also great to grab quickly if you have to evacuate very fast. So that's what you are building this week. You still have a little bit more time to build it, but today's the last day for the bulk of this challenge, all right? So today on the live, what I wanted to talk about, we're going to wrap it up, talk about those final steps and what your next steps are. So this is also your last chance for this live to ask me any questions during the live. And I wanted to say hi as you're hopping in. Let me know who you are and have you been doing the challenge all week? Are you just starting the challenge? Are you working on it this weekend? Tell me where you're at as far as the challenge so far. So I see Lori's here. Welcome, Lori. Good to see you. And Sue and Wanda. Hey, Wanda. BT's here. Hello, hello. Walleen is here. She's just starting. Awesome. Welcome, Walleen. I'm so glad that you could join us. Lynn is here from the South, and Jan is here. Hello again. Love to see these beautiful faces. Well, not so much faces. You can see me. I can't say you, but I know your names. I recognize so many of you, and welcome to our new people. I love, love, love it. All right, so wrapping up this challenge, right? Let's just go over a little bit of what we've done. So throughout the week, first off, we got our supplies, your red folder, any of the dividers that you wanted. And remember, all this is on that challenge schedule page. You downloaded your worksheets, and these fillable worksheets are what make it super, super easy, right? So you downloaded the free worksheets found on the challenge page, and you either typed them in because it's a fillable PDF, or you printed it and hand wrote in them. Up to you. But once you type them, print it out, then you assembled it into your folder. So that way it's ready to grab and go if you need it. You filled it all in. You know where to keep it. We're going to keep this usually in the kitchen or near the kitchen because we're going to put this either in, at, or near the freezer or refrigerator, mostly the freezer in your kitchen because that's where first responders know to look. So put a notice on your freezer where to find this, or put this, you can hang this from your freezer or from your refrigerator if your space is set up that way. So now what, right? Well, now you should probably tell your family that this exists. Right? So that's the next step. That's the final step. Make sure that the people who need to know about this know where to find it. So remind your family, if they forget where it's at, they can look on the freezer for your little sign that's going to tell the EMTs that as well. But tell your family that there is an emergency medical folder in case they ever need it, and where to find it, what types of information are inside. Because the more we can give our loved ones the information that they need really easily, the more protected they are too, and the less stressful things will be for them if anything were to happen, right? And that goes with all of your important information. We want to make sure that our loved ones are protected. I don't know about you, but I have a feeling that most of you are probably the primary people managing the important information in your lives, right? So you probably are the one who's keeping track of the insurance policies and the medical prescriptions and all of those things. So the more we can make sure to keep those organized where our family can find them, the better, because when they can't find them, that's when bad stuff happens. So step one, remember, is tell your loved ones where to find it. Let's really quickly, if you have any questions, ask me in the comments. I want to see what's going on in the comments really quickly. Welcome, welcome. Okay, awesome. So someone says that they've been working on the challenge all week, and so has Lynn. Linda says, hello from chilly Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Delaware. Yes, we've been in all 3 states today. You must be on the road. That's awesome. Be safe. Hey, Nancy, and hi, Ta. She's been here all week with us. I've seen, a lot of these faces I've seen all week. It's great. Someone's filling up their fillable forms this week, and it has been a great week. They say, thank you. You're so welcome. Susan's here from Nova, a work in progress this week. Awesome. Lori's been here all week, has not started filling out the worksheets, but she downloaded version 7. It's because she had an old version, and she's going to start filling it out tomorrow online. Yay. And welcome, Karen from Orlando, and Gay is here. Her emergency folder is all set up beside her refrigerator. That's perfect. Hey, from Olympia, Darlene is here. And Debbie, she's still collecting the information needed in order to finish it up. So let me just look through some of these really quickly. Hi, everybody. Someone's got it on top of their fridge. We've got, I've been on this week and working on it. I went through and typed in everything off the top of the head. Now I'm filling in the other information. That is perfect, BT. That's what I say to do. First off, just go through it and fill in just what you already know, right? And then once you've got everything that you already know filled in, which you'll already know a whole lot of it off the top of your head, then you can go back and look up any of that additional information. It makes it so much faster. Hey, Diane, she says that she has her folders assembled for her husband and her parents and her son. She's working on filling them all in. You have quite a job to do, but it's going to be so worth it. I love it. So welcome, welcome. Joanne says that it's been a great week. She finished her folder. Yay! A great accomplishment for me. It only took 1.5 years to finish. You're not alone, I'm sure. So now she has to have a Spark Life Binder challenge to finish her Spark Life Binder. Check out that Facebook group because each month we work on one section. That's awesome. Somebody's having internet trouble and it's going in and out. Yes, you can watch the replay on the challenge page. So hopefully that helps you out. Yeah, Lynn says it's hard for her to see up that high on top of a refrigerator for the emergency binder. As long as you got it written on the front of the freezer that it's on top of the fridge, then that at least will help for emergency personnel. Jana says, I'll be using the documents as a directory to help me know what I should be looking for, and I'll pull all the papers that apply or relate to the binder so I can put one together for Mom's estate and myself. Then I'll take breaks from sorting and update the forms. I hope that makes sense. It does. It absolutely does. All right, so Susan has a question. She says, will the medical team or first responders who take the folder get it back to me? You know, I've never heard of them not getting it back to you. Usually what happens is whenever I've heard of a time where somebody's been unconscious or that they've been the primary people holding it, then they transfer it with you to the doctors in the hospital. So it just kind of follows along where you are, because then the doctors will have it and they can look through it too. And it just kind of stays along with you with your personal belongings. That's from all the stories I've heard, then they've always gotten it back to you. But the nice thing is also, since you also still have the digital version, you can always print it out again and set it up again if you ever had to, if they ever did not get it back to you. But I have a feeling that most likely it'll just follow along with you like it has with other people that have heard their stories. But yeah, that's the nice part about having print and digital. You can always print it out again. The most important thing is to make sure that you're taken care of medically, right? So hello, hello. You're so welcome. Nana's chipping away at it. Wendy has all of her supplies in a bright red folder. You are ready. And Linda says she's enjoying the challenge. Thank you. You're so welcome. Awesome. All right. Well, when we're wrapping up this challenge, finish up this weekend. Try to finish up as much as you can, of course. Get that emergency medical folder. If you can at least get it assembled, You don't necessarily have to have everything filled out before the end of the weekend, but if you can at least get it printed out and put together, then it's a lot easier to then handwrite into it as you have time. It's much harder to remember if it's still on our computer and we're still typing into it and not having it assembled yet. So sometimes what I like to do is, for me, because I'm more likely to complete something if it's in front of me and if I can grab it, do 5 minutes of work now and then put it away. By breaking it into those bite-sized steps, I'm more likely to complete it. But if I have to go into my computer and type, then I will probably forget to do it. So one option is you can print it all out, those blank PDFs, handwrite the information into them. And if you did want a typed up version, then once you've got it mostly filled out or completely filled out by hand, then you can take the step of hop into the PDF, type it all nice and pretty, and print that final version. So that's one great way to get it finished. If you're the type of person who does better with having the physical item in front of you and being able to break it into the small steps, maybe each day you fill on one field or pick a page. There aren't a whole lot of pages in this one, so that would go really fast. So wrap up your emergency medical folder. Remember that challenge schedule page. The challenge schedule page, the link is in the description of the video. That is only available for one more week. So until this next Sunday, January 23rd. And then it comes down. So make sure watch your replays, read any of the tasks, download your worksheets, do whatever you need to do. Click on any of those links before then. All right. And remember, also the Spark Life Binder. If you want to grab the Spark Life Binder, then it's only available until tonight at midnight Eastern time, my time. So 11:59 p.m. my time, Eastern time. Then the public link for that Spark Life Binder goes away, and you won't be able to buy it through that buy link that's in any of the videos or anywhere. All right. So our next step is, how do you keep all the rest of your important information organized? That is the question that I used to hear all the time. So that's where the Spark Life Binder comes in. I'm going to tell you really quickly with the Spark Life Binder, it's basically, you know how the emergency medical folder has those worksheets? I gave you the worksheets for the emergency medical folder that you can print out. You can type into them. You can handwrite on them, whatever you want. But basically, you're just answering the questions, right? So you're going through and it asks you if there are any life-threatening allergies for the person, and you just fill in the blanks. It asks you blood type. Are you an organ donor? Who's the emergency contact? And you're just basically going through answering questions. So it makes it so much easier. You don't have to remember what information to include. Well, the emergency medical folder is actually one of the 10 sections of the Spark Life Binder. And it's the only one, it's its own folder. The Spark Life Binder is for all of the other information in your life. So if you like being able to have these worksheets already done for you and you're just answering the questions, if you find that helpful, then the Spark Life Binder is really useful. I know a lot of you already have the Spark Life Binder. I recognize those names and who you are, which is awesome. So you already know about this. But the Spark Life Binder, you can get it either digital or print version or both, but it has 9 more sections with all of those worksheets with fillable fields. You're just going through and answering the questions, and they're really in depth. So it has sections on basic information, dependents. So 1 section per adult, 1 section per dependent in your life, kid, pet, medical, end of life arrangements, finance and insurance, real estate and personal property, legal and official records, digital life, which means like passwords and websites, and then a section for resources and notes. And then each one goes really in depth with these worksheets. So there's over 100 pages of worksheets and checklists and all of that to help you get all of the important information into one place that you and your loved ones have it all at your fingertips. So if anything ever happened to you, you'd know everything that you need to know. So make sure, if you did want the Spark Life Binder, tonight's the night. So make sure to do it before the end of the night tonight, Sunday, the 16th of January, because then it's going away and it won't be available until later this year. So further into the year. You can get it printed and mailed to you, or you can get the digital version, or both, whatever you prefer. So the link is in the video, but I just wanted to give you that reminder that that is also expiring. But that's how you do this whole same system, the same system as the emergency medical folder for all of your important papers to make it super, super easy. All right, let's answer a couple more questions really quickly. And then I'll share a story with you that I got, which was really cool. Yep. So Darlene says, if it's printed and put together, I think it will help me get it done sooner. I can grab it. And if I'm in a waiting room or waiting in the car somewhere, just pull it out and do it. It's so, so true. I'm the same way. If you have it where you can just pick it up and answer a couple of those worksheet fields, then it makes it so much easier. Awesome. So Linda says, I will start later today. Yay. Absolutely. Perfect. Perfect. I already saw that one. Rose says, I have everything done except for the newest version of the non-emergency numbers. I put it in the red 3-ring binder with papers protected in plastic covers. Awesome. You did amazing. She says she got the digital Spark Life binder. So you're going to rock that one too. You're already one step ahead because you've already got that emergency medical folder done. Yay. Linda says, I sent an email question about my purchase last night. I believe I responded to you already this morning. I saw the email. I'm pretty sure that I already responded, but if not, then you'll get a response very soon. All right. So check your email inbox. And if you don't hear from us before the end of the day, then reach out again because maybe it ended up in your spam folder. Sound good? But we're here for you. Absolutely. Terry says, from Pennsylvania, I have several parts done, but they are by themselves. The binder will get all of it in one place and address the missing parts. Thank you so much for helping me and many others get organized. You're so welcome. Well, I just know the reason I do this, actually, the whole reason I started teaching organizing papers, especially organizing in general, I loved because I was not born organized. If you all know my story, I was so unorganized as a kid and as a young adult. So I knew once I was able to get control of my surroundings, how much of a difference that made. But papers were the hardest for me. They were so hard. And I felt like everybody else was able to be an adult and I just could not pull it off. So that's when I started doing things like I created the Spark Life Binder originally for myself. And then when I started working with organizing with people, then I realized that there were a number of other people that could use it. So that's when I started developing it and researching. This was like 12, 15 years ago. I started researching how to do it with other people and include things that would be needed in pretty much everybody's life. So I knew what a relief it was for me to have all of this information in one place, especially because at the time I was single, I lived alone. So if something were to happen to me, then my loved ones would have no idea about any of it because it was all in my own head. So having the fillable worksheets, I needed that in order to be able to get it done for myself. So that's exactly why I started doing this in the first place, because I know what a relief it was. Once I had the important information done and all in one place, then I felt so much more relief. And then I could work on the rest of my papers. And then I felt true relief because I was not as afraid of all the possible things that I might not be prepared for. So you're so welcome. Nan says, is there a way to add pages into the emergency folder digitally? I go into how to do this. If you've got the digital Spark Life Binder, there's an entire video in your online library on how to do that. But the short answer is the easiest way, if you're not great with technology or if you don't have any type of fancier PDF software, then the easiest way is to save another copy of the emergency medical folder and just use the pages from it that you want. But the video can go much more in depth about the various options and how to do them. So hopefully that helps answer your question. I would say just save a folder on your computer, though. If you want the super, super easy way, save a folder on your computer called emergency medical folder and save like the main file that's got all the different pages filled out. And then the other files, if you only wanted an additional prescription page, you could call it extra prescription page. And then you could just fill out only the pages within there that you want. But yeah, there's other ways to do it. They're just more complex than I have time to explain here. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully that answers your question. Corinne says, thanks for that. I think this is what I need to do this week. Just put it together. This week, every day I've had scheduling conflicts. Yeah. And when we're thinking of this as a project where we have to sit down, get it all filled out, get it completely finished, then it's so easy to push it off, right? Because we don't have a lot of time in our lives. But if you think about it in steps and small little tiny bite-sized steps, then it's much more doable. because maybe today you download the worksheets and hit print. Hit print once per person in your household. And that's all you do today. At least then you've got it printed. And then maybe step 2 is, okay, hole punch, put it in a red folder. And then step 3 is add your device. If you break it down into small steps, instead of making a big project, make it this process over time with tiny little small bites, and it'll get done a lot faster and it'll fit into a busy day better. Wally says, I'm sorry, I don't see the downloads for the emergency pages. They're on the challenge schedule page on day 1. So go to that. The link's in the description in this video for the challenge schedule page. Day 1, there's the link for the downloads. Jana says, are those pages in the Spark Life Binder the printed one? Are they printed on cardstock? If so, do you recommend that? The only pages that I print on cardstock are the cover pages. So this page I have on cardstock. I have, this is not what the final print version looks like. It's similar, but the final print version is actually nicer. I'm waiting on that final proof since this is our first time doing the printed version mailed to you. So the dividers will look different. This will look different because it won't have 3 holes on it. It's going to have a nice spine. It'll have 2 options for the spine. One that says Spark Life Binder and one that you can fill in a different name if you wanted to. But those are the only things on the cardstock. Then in my printed version, the front cover right now, as of right now, the latest design, we have this kind of a clear plastic cover page just to keep it nice and protected. And then the rest are all just on nice paper, but standard stock paper. I would not do cardstock. It's just adding extra weight and extra expense that is not really necessary. Yes, Sally says, looking forward to receiving my printed one I ordered. Absolutely. So if you ordered a printed Spark Life Binder, like I mentioned, this is the first time I've ever done a physical product that I've mailed. It's also the first time I've ever done a printed product that I've mailed. It's also the first time I've ever done a customized printed product that I've mailed. So this is all new to me. Monday is when I'm sending all of the orders to the printer. If you ordered the print version, then throughout the week and throughout the whole process, I'll send you email updates to let you know where we are in the printing process. It's going to be a little bit slower to get this first batch out because I will be up at the print shop checking out for quality before things go out, making sure that it all goes right this first time as we iron out the processes. Since I am customizing this for people, I'm adding extra sections for adults and dependents, and there's already place for 10 pets and all of that. So I want to make sure it goes out right. But you will get emails throughout the process letting you know where we're at with the printing, when to expect to get shipped out. And then once it gets shipped, you'll get tracking numbers and all that good stuff. So I'm super excited. I can't wait till you get it too. Lori says, okay, so I already answered that question with the adding additional digital pages. I answered that question a little bit ago. So either you can rewind the video or this might have come in while I was answering it, but hopefully that helps you. Gay says that she's got some rain turning to snow over there. Ooh, cold. Question, has there been any updates to the Spark Life Binder since 2 years ago when I purchased my first copy? Unfortunately, I still need to complete it. Absolutely. No worries. You're not the only one that sometimes life gets in the way. So now you've got the motivation because this has hopefully sparked that idea again, and you can at least just hit print, right? So there have been updates to the Spark Life Binder. Make sure that you're getting our emails. If you've not been getting the emails this week from us, then shoot me an email at hello@suzannakaye.com. And let me put that on the screen really quickly. But shoot me an email if you've not received the emails from us this week. And I can make sure that we troubleshoot why you're not getting emails if that's the case. Because every time we do an update, I send out an email. And in your online library, when you hit download your Spark Life Binder, that's always going to be the most up-to-date version. So when you go to SuzannaKaye.com and you log in, go to your library, then what you download from there will be the most current one. And whenever you buy the digital, then you always have the most up-to-date version of that core. Hopefully that answers your question. Yep, and good job, Darlene. You've got a good memory. She says, make sure that you have the V7 version 7. She added stuff for COVID, so there's most likely an update. That's right. The current one is version 7, and it says it at the bottom corner of your pages. So if it does not say anything, or if it says a version lower than 7, then you probably have an older version. All right. So you're so welcome, Nan. She says that she'll look for the video. That's awesome. Let's see. So Darlene says that she was having some trouble with getting the emails. Should I send an email to look at the email list? Yes. Go ahead, shoot us an email at hello@suzannakaye.com, and we can see why you might not have gotten those. You guys are so welcome. So Joanne says, I like your idea about printing the pages and filling in by hand. I think I will get the Spark Life binder filled out quicker. I also found your idea of spending just 10 minutes doing something. Yeah, just spend 10 minutes, fill out as much as you can, then walk away. And if you do that frequently, then it's going to be finished so fast. You're so, so welcome. Oh, thank you. Darlene says, congrats, Susanna. What an awesome accomplishment. Thank you. It's taken years for me to figure out how to do this and to get up the courage to try. Yay. So Corinne says that she's got the printed version that she just ordered to go with her digital. That's awesome. Jean says, I plan to get a copy of my house key to snap into my emergency folder. I was told that EMTs are required to lock up when you leave with them. Brilliant idea. Yes, I love to have the extra house keys. If you have anything that you would need to grab and go with, that's a great place to have it. So some people I've heard, if you have any type of, I don't know exactly what medical attachments it is, but if it's a port or something like that, there's little parts that you might need for certain things. You can just keep them right inside of your folder if you need some extra ones in case you ever had to be taken to the hospital. Whatever you would need as far as super emergency type of items that could go with you, that's a good thing to put in that pocket. Lori says, I have cell phone and landline phones. How do I add a line for the landline? You can either handwrite it once you print it out, or I like to just, in the phone section, you can write C notes, and in that notes page, then you can type in on that notes page, cell phone and landline. That's why that notes page is there, because everybody's got some things that are unique to them. So you can add that much. You can add a lot more that way. Darlene says the Kajabi app she's asking about. She ordered another program for QuickBooks and told me about it on the go for the smartphone. Yes. So Darlene, in your online library, then if you wanted the app to access your online library to make it easier, then that is through the Kajabi app. And the information would be, you'll probably use it mostly for your paper path more than you would for the Spark Life binder. But that information is in your online library. So hopefully that helps answer your questions. If you have any other questions, now's your chance to ask, because we're about to wrap up. So while you ask those final questions, remember the challenge schedule page. The link is in the description of the video. So that is only going to be available until Sunday, January 23rd. And then the Spark Life binder, remember, after midnight tonight, it is gone. All right, so you cannot grab it after that. So really quickly, I wanted to share bits of a story that one of our wonderful people emailed to me. She said, Dear Susanna, 2 years ago, I had the kind of experience that you had with your father. I was talking before about when I realized that my parents needed this and so many people needed this. My father had been in the hospital and was on a breathing tube, and I did not know how to help him because I did not have half the information. She says that she was on vacation in a condo. She just finished papers for the sale of the condo, and the movers were supposed to come, but she's an 82-year-old widow living alone in LA. Her only daughter also lives in the valley, and they're close, but she's always handled everything herself. And then one day she had stomach pains. Thankfully, she called one of the local friends and to ask if she had any Tums. It took her 10 minutes to get to my thankfully unlocked door. She found me on the floor saying, I think I need to go to the ER. I have no memory of anything after calling her. She says that she spent the next 10 days in a coma with her organs failing, and they had to do a lot of work, but obviously, thankfully, she made it through. But 10 days in a coma, that meant that her daughter was left to make all of the arrangements for full-time care. They were expecting possibly full-time care or, possibly that she would die. Her daughter had no idea where anything about her life or finances could be found, even though they're very close, but she never had to discuss the details of what she was doing, especially finances, with her daughter. She says, as you see, I didn't die, but it took a month and a half more before I was able to go home. I know exactly what you and your family faced. Thank heavens my daughter is very smart, and was able to be by my side during this episode that lasted almost 2 months. But she had to hack me. I had almost everything online and not a password to anything she needed access. And I was loopy for those 2 months. If only there had been a Spark Life Binder. She says that basically she found me. She was talking about how she found me, but she says that she wished that she had the Spark Life Binder at that time because her daughter needed all of that information and she was not able to communicate it. And she never would have thought to share that information with her daughter before that. Thankfully, it all worked out really well. Obviously, her daughter is a tech genius and was able to hack her and get access to everything that she needed and manage. But how much easier could it have been if she had it all in one place? So that is what I want for you. All right. So if you don't already have your important papers and information in a place that's easy for your family to find exactly what they need when you need it and what they know about, because remember, today we're talking about make sure to tell your loved ones where to find not only the emergency medical folder, but where to find all of the important information. And just because it makes sense to you where it's at in the file cabinet, it might not make sense to them. We all think very differently. So in a crisis, make sure that they know exactly where to find everything. And whether you build your own binder or grab the Spark Life binder, either way is absolutely fine. The goal is just to have one place where they know to find absolutely everything that they could possibly need if anything were to happen. And that includes, like, maybe you just want to go to Tahiti for a week and not tell anyone. That would be absolutely fine. I give you permission. You can go to Tahiti. Don't tell a soul that you're even leaving, and then they can handle everything because they'll have the information, right? That's a much better way to do it. But make sure, tell your family where everything is. Let's see. I've got questions. Okay, so somebody asked, is the digital version, is it only for printing out or is it a PDF? Can it be filled out online? So the digital version of the Spark Life Binder, it is a fillable PDF. It is a fillable PDF that you download to your computer or your hard drive. You always have the access to that file. It's not stored online in our servers or anything like that. But you can type into it. You can either print it out and handwrite onto it, or you can type into it and then print it out, or you could keep it just digital, completely up to you. So if you're decent with technology and you like the idea of having the fillable PDF, then that digital version is really helpful. If you're either probably too busy to get it printed out or you're not good with technology, then the printed version might be better for you if you just know that you're going to have time or technology restrictions. Or if you really like the idea of the printed version, super easy, mailed to you, done fast, but you also want to be able to have a digital backup where you can type the information in and have access to any updates where you could print those out and add them to your printed binder. That's when you might want the combo. You can get digital and print both if you wanted to. So those are kind of all the different regular scenarios that you might come across. Darlene says, thank you so much, Suzanne. You're helping me get motivated and going to get things done. Just do it. Set a timer and focus only on whatever project you're on. I love that. Absolutely. Jean says, my printer has a copy feature with a USB port. I'll use this to copy all the pages of my emergency folder to create a digital copy. It works better than my laptop. Absolutely. That's a great idea. You could also, use, a lot of times people will use apps on your phone. There are a number of different apps that you can use that will use your phone's camera to turn something into a PDF. They're called scanner apps. So if you go to your app store, look up like PDF scanner, and those are really handy too. So you can always do that to make a digital version to store it too. That's awesome. Lori, when listing emergency contacts, what's meant by local? Does this mean local family or neighbors or police? So in the emergency medical folder, you will find it does not mean police, because police would be listed on the page with, what's it called? So there is a page, if I can get to it. Oh, I'm going too far. There is a page called, where is it? This might not be my, home emergency information. So home emergency information, that's where you would list like the local police non-emergency numbers, sheriff, fire, all of that. So that's what's there. Now, when I ask about local and family contacts, sometimes what we have is we might have a family member our most like next of kin type of family member, or the one that you would want them to contact, might not be nearby. So they would need to know who's a family member who can help make some of those decisions if you're not able to. But they might also need to know somebody nearby to help out as well. So a local contact would be somebody like a neighbor, a close friend. It can also be a family member if there's a family member who lives nearby. It's basically who lives nearby that they can contact. And a lot of times that also helps if you have pets in the house, or if they're going to need to arrange for somebody to pick you up from the hospital. That local contact can help out a lot. Yeah, Darlene says, yes, we do think differently for sure. Before you, I had to do filing alphabetically, ABC. Now I do it the self-purging files, and that's so much better. Oh, that's awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. I know it's a scary change to make when you go away from what you naturally would think that it's supposed to be. But I'm so glad that you took the risk and you tried out those self-purging files, which I talked about in the paper path course. I'm glad that you took that risk, because everybody who actually commits and tries it out really does love it. Yay. Hi, Bonnie. Bonnie made it on. That's wonderful. So glad that you made it. I know that you've been having some troubles hopping on. All right. Well, if you have any last questions, now is the time. Remember, though, most of all, make sure print it out. If you don't have time to fill it out, that's absolutely okay. At least get it printed. Okay. So that way you can pick it up, you can enter information as you need to. And then once you've handwritten all of the information, then you can go back in and type it in and print out a nice final copy if you want to. But if you don't get it printed out at least, then you probably won't get it completed. So make sure to at least get it printed. You're so welcome, Wallene. Susan says, thanks so much for helping to get the emergency medical folder together and for your tips to work on it. You're so welcome. I have loved spending this time with you this week. I hope you continue to follow me. Remember, every Thursday, I am live at 11 a.m. Eastern time in the Home Challenges group. So in the Facebook group, let me see if I have the link. I can add that really quick. If you're not already a member of the Facebook group, or you could also find it on my YouTube channel. Every Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern, I go live and I talk about an organizing topic. It's different each week, but we go in depth on something and I share all sorts of tips, tricks, information, all of that good stuff with you there. So I hope that you join me 11 a.m. live each Thursday. They're called Thursday Talks. And you're so welcome. I see Lori says, thanks for this workshop. This is the kick in the booty. She has stars there that I needed to get started. It's only been about 3 to 5 years since I purchased it. That's perfect. You are not alone with that one for sure. You're so welcome. Lori says, I love those Thursday talks when I can make it. Aw, wonderful. Well, I love you so much. Go make today amazing. Whatever you do today is a step forward, no matter how small that step. And you can absolutely do this beautiful. I know that you can. I love you so much, and I will see you very soon. Bye. I love you.